she's still where she was. I just got to get the pedals in and get everything bolted back up. I contemplated doing a gauge, you know, the gauge upgrade, whether it be Florida 5.0, which I always really liked, but now you got these, you know, digital versions of the original setup. You got the Dakota digital gauges. I mean, they all look good, but at the moment I decided, you know what, spending $1,000 on that is not necessary. It's not like you can't get that apart easy enough, because I figured why not do this kind of stuff while I'm in there, you know. Like, I took advantage of the interior being like this, and I cleaned the hell out of it, which is also why I wanted to get some of the paint work done. But in the end, I decided to just forgo the gauges for now, get everything bolted back up the way it was, and also do a system. I'm going to do a double din and replace all the speakers in it, small amp under the seat for all the interior speakers, and I found a nice box, which it was hotter than I thought, to be honest. I really didn't realize how small the hatch was. For some reason, I remember having this big box, like back in the 90s, you couldn't even see out of the rearview mirror. It was so tall, 212s, you know, with an amp bolted to it. So it was just ridiculous back here. And I also remember another time racing some dude on the highway, and I was like blind in my 20s before I got eyeglasses, and the highway started to turn. I didn't realize we were on like an off ramp, and dude, I was all out, fifth gear, little notch back beside me, and when I realized the highway was turning, I kind of panicked and tapped my brakes, and it shot the car kind of sideways because I was about to hit the grass, and the speaker box came up and smashed off my back window. I thought it shattered it, but it didn't. And yeah, at that point, because it was never bolted down. So I didn't want to have some big gaudy speaker box. Honestly, I didn't want to lose a lot of this room either. I found a box that Ska makes, which I had to go down a rabbit hole on them too. I've never, you know, last time I was involved with stereo equipment was the 90s, so a lot's changed. This company sells 3/8. It's a box that's kind of like a piece of an octagon, and it's got 3/8 in it. Comes with an amp that's matched for it, so that'll take some of the guesswork out of that. And that's what I'm going to use. The dimensions are perfect, so that's what I'm going to go with. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see how she goes. Oh, I meant to get the LEDs for this weekend too. Damn it. I meant to have them here for this day, and I just kept... Shit. You know, and I also wanted to go ahead and buy the gas pedal, because I didn't know until watching a video recently on LMR that the 5-speed gas pedal is actually bigger, and it looks better. It's got like a roundedness to it. The automatic gas pedal is just that little straight kind of, yeah. So I wanted to change that out, but I don't want to have to do it while all the other pedals are in there, which is going to be the case because I'm putting those pedals in today. So I guess that's that. Stay tuned. I had to remove the column. As you can see, I look like I just got beat up. I did. I don't even know what time it is. But initially, when I took the pedals out, I didn't remove the column. You can see the hood latches hanging in front of the brake pedal, but they're in. They're not bolted up yet, but they're in. And it wasn't without a fight. And I remembered why the second to last time I did this, I said never again. This time, for whatever reason, I couldn't figure out the puzzle that is required to get the pedals in around the column shaft. Even though I got them out, I couldn't figure out how to get them in, and I was getting aggravated real quick. So, column's out, but it came out in 2 pieces. The shaft was still in there, which I figured, all right, I'll do it with the shaft. That'll make it easier. I can still do it that way. No, I had to remove the shaft, which of course that bolt there is rusted to hell, and even when you get the bolt out, which it has a nut on the bottom of it, I didn't know that, so I'm over there spinning it after I got it to break loose, which isn't easy getting it down in that area, getting a ratchet down in there, a bunch of extensions and a swivel. Long story short, it wouldn't disconnect from the steering rod. It wouldn't slide apart because it was rusted to shit. And of course, it eventually did. With a little bit of coaxing from this and a hammer, I was able to get it on the edge of it and tap it until I was able to break it loose, trying not to bust the steering knuckle or screw anything up down there. So yeah, I don't know how many hours it is later. The guy that sold me those pedals ended up just refunding me $100 back. Figured it was 50% my fault, and that's what I told him, you know. I should have asked for more pictures, but I didn't, so. And, you know, it's partly his fault because he should have known what he was selling me, which clearly wasn't 86 to 93 pedals. Yeah, so here we are. I'm going to get it buttoned up, and my speedo cable's junk. I didn't realize that until I looked underneath the car. I also have a leak from the low oil sensor plug, which is leaking really bad. I cleaned up the area last night and got under there again today and checked it, and it's leaking really bad. So not only is the rear main seal leaking, but the low oil sensor is leaking, which from what I understand is like going to cost me about $200 to get the parts. Or if I buy them new from LMR, or I can buy a $10 plug and just do away with the low oil sensor. So you know what's going to happen there. But aside from that, I think we're making a little bit of progress. Once again, it's an absolute mess in here. What are you going to do? Speedo cable is coming out. I'm going to replace the whole thing. Order a new one. Hopefully have it here before I got to get this thing to the transmission shop. Boys, girls, whoever, don't do this job by yourself. Just don't. I fought with this column. I haven't plugged everything in yet, but I fought with this column for almost 2 hours. Came apart in 2 pieces. You try to put it back together in 1 piece, well, you need somebody out there at the firewall making sure that it goes in just right. Or you could hammer on that thing and it won't go in, because it needs to go in just right. Ended up having to put it back together in 2 pieces. But trying to do that is still as difficult, because for whatever reason it does not want to slide into the actual upper column part as easy as it would if you just put it on the ground. My rib, I think, was separated when I put all my body weight on one of those bad boys. Even through this thing, you can see what it's doing to the mat. So lay yourself down like a small mattress. Everything is bolted. I just need to plug in the wire and stuff, and this doesn't really line up, but it didn't before, from what I can remember. So I'm not too concerned with it. Column is the best I can get it. It's tight out there. I got a Chapman alarm and a bunch of shit you'll see hanging right there that I don't know really what to do with. There's a couple wires that are running up to the column still. I don't know. So yeah, I don't know what that thing is back there. I'm hoping it's not a factory amp. You see that little silver thing back there? With the fins on it? I mean, because I plan on running an amp under the passenger seat to power the interior speakers. Double din and some woofers out back, which I have in my cot as we speak. The foam piece around the column got ripped in the process, so there's a foam piece inside that rubber piece, that big rubber grommet, and now you can see light through it, which is not making me happy, but all in all, she's back together. And then there's this thing. None of the holes line up. You know, that one little hole that everybody talks about being kind of, you know, it's ready to rock and roll. No, it isn't. This thing doesn't line up. And these bullshit-ass countersunk screws they give you, well, let me show you what happened when I tried to use one. Snapped the head right off. Had to use vice grips to get the rest of the screw out. And good luck getting anything in there to actually drill those holes out. This goes with the grub screw facing down, like that. But this hole, this one that's supposed to line up with the one that's kind of preset from the factory, it doesn't line up. Yeah. Whatever. So this will be another project. I thought this thing was going to be my saving grace, but it doesn't even have enough power. It's just some piece of shit I picked up when I was standing at the counter at Harbor Freight one day. Threw it in the bottom of the toolbox and figured, hey, I'll need that someday. Good luck trying to get an actual drill in there. or anything else for that matter. You can barely get your hand in there. But I got to get this cable set. God damn, these lights throw off a lot of heat. Shouldn't have been so cheap and bought the LED ones. These things you could heat a damn house. All right, well, I managed to get 2 of 3 in. Couldn't get the one that's supposed to line up in, but it is what it is. This will work. Sorry about the audio thus far. The camera I'm using or was using was absolutely terrible. The amount of work I've gone through just editing to try to get it to the point where you can hear it without turning your volume up to 100, you don't want to know. So I decided to do a voiceover on this one. Long story short, which you'll hear me say quite often, but I usually make a long story out of a short story. I should have bought the BBK or the, I don't know, the Steeda firewall adjuster. So do yourself that favor. Stay tuned, guys. We got a few years to go, and there's a lot that's going to happen. Thanks for watching.